Welcome to the Black Script Storytellers. My name is Kevin Marable, and today we have a very special guest with us. She is an author, a writer, and now has her very own movie on Tubi. She loves to write horror. We have Donna Christopher.
Thank
How you
you.
doing today, Donna?
I'm well. Thank you for having me. How are you?
Absolutely. I am doing good. I am
Good.
doing good. It's a pleasure to have you on. I know we talk all the time, and I wanted to take this time to be able to showcase who you are, some of your accomplishments, and what you have going on. And then also, we have a special announcement to make at some point during this interview that I would like to share, and I'm sure you would like to share as well. So,
Yes.
without further ado, I like to start off with every interview a simple question that I ask everybody.
Okay.
And sometimes that question can be difficult to answer. Are you
Okay.
ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready for the challenge. Let's go.
That question is, who is Donna Christopher?
Who is Donna Christopher? So lately, I have been asking myself that, like, who am I? I have been so many things to so many people, and I know that I have to, like, identify my brand. So, who is Donna Christopher? Besides being a mother and a wife, I am a screenwriter. I'm an author. I'm a storyteller at heart. So I love to write any type of story, not just horror. But I started out writing books. So Donna Christopher now is a creative writer, storyteller, author, producer, director. So I'm gonna start
Yes.
there.
Yes. Say it. Say it all. Yeah, for sure. So let's start with writing.
Okay.
And I will ask you, when did you get your start in writing?
Oh, okay. Whew. You ready for this? Because it might be a little lengthy.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay, so I started writing in elementary school. I grew up in a bad area, and so I turned to writing as a way to escape, my surroundings. And so I just kept writing, didn't know I had a gift at the time, but I kept writing short stories, and I even did like little bitty raps and stuff like that and poetry.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
and I started doing creative writing in school, and then people started coming up to me and say, "Hey, can I get a portrait for class for homework?" Cheating, of course, but they would turn it in, and just everybody kept talking about my writing. And then one day, I took my book of poetry to work with me, and it got passed around the office. And this lady came back to me and she said, "You should write a book." And I was like, I should write a book. And so I wrote a book. I wrote several books. And then
Mm.
from there, I was like, I wish I could turn these books into movies. My mentor at the time, she was my writing mentor, and she started doing movies. And I was like, ooh, if she can do it, maybe I could do it. So I took her classes, and next thing you know, I had to be a student all over again and learn how to write scripts and taking my storytelling skills and using them to apply to the script world to write
Mhm.
scripts. So then I became a script writer, and now I'm in the film industry.
Hey, no, that's a amazing journey for sure.
Yeah.
And just the simple fact that you followed it all the way through, just off the simple fact of, you enjoyed writing, and then as time progressed, people, posed an idea, and that idea sparked an idea for you, and you just ran with it.
Just ran with it. And I'm here to stay because I love it.
Yeah. So why horror though?
So while I was in my mentorship class, she pitches to different networks. And so she said, "We're looking for horror. We don't see anything with horror. So we need a project for horror." So I was like, oh, being the storyteller I am, I was like, let me go write a project that's horror. So I don't like dolls, but I just had this idea um, about dolls, and I started watching different movies and stuff like that. And then the idea just sparked to turn people into dolls, killing them. And I'm laughing because it's not funny, but making it is funny, because I know it's fake.
Right.
And I never thought I would write horror, but it was fun actually writing horror, and it's another genre I can add to my portfolio.
And I know early on, speaking to you, after we just met, um, I think you had mentioned to me that you loved writing horror, but it's not. It's just the enjoyment of writing it. It's not necessarily like your main genre that you write, or that you enjoy watching.
Right. I don't like to watch a lot of horror. My family typically like this one's really good. You just gotta watch it. Cause I find myself like if I have to watch something with them, I might as well watch it with them because if one gonna get scared, we all gonna get scared type of thing.
Right.
But it's not my favorite. I'm a romantic type of person, lovable person. So I like, the love and basketball, love Jones types of movie, even the notebook, stuff like that. So I'm a romantic at heart. And
Okay.
so writing that is different, but I'm up for the challenge in any genre. But not horror, watching it, and it's not really my favorite, but I've become, everybody's like, oh, she's a horror person. Go to her for advice. Come to me for advice. I may can help you, but I can help you develop your story. But,
Right.
I just have to write horror based on ideas that I have in my head, because I
Right.
can tell a story. I'm creative like that. So,
Right. Right. Now, a few years back, you became a part of Tressa Smallwood's writing initiative.
hmm
Uh, Without fully giving it away, or giving away the program, can you tell the audience what you learned from it?
so when I first started, I just wanted to sell a script and get my name on screen. And while I was in her program, I had to, because I thought I was gonna just jump straight in and excel. I got a bunch of projects. I'm gonna do 15 scripts before I leave this session. And so I realized that I had to step back and become a student and learn the script writing process because it's a lot that goes into writing a script. And it's totally different from writing a book. Writing a
Mhm.
book and writing a script is two different worlds. All storytelling, but it's two different worlds. And so I had to learn the process of writing, each step of the way. It's different things from, perfecting your beats, your log line, your synopsis, and stuff like that. And then all the way to the script writing. The script writing part is actually the last part. A lot of people try to jump straight into writing a script, but that's not how you write a script. And people say, I got writer's block. It's not writer's block. It's just poor planning. And if you don't start from the beginning of the process of outlining your project, getting your ideas out, developing your characters and your story, then you're going to get stuck. And so
Mhm.
that's part of the process of learning, script writing from beginning to end. So
Yeah.
did that answer
No.
your question?
No, it did. It did answer my question, and it's good that you were able to join that writers program and actually, take a back seat, so to speak, and become the student and listen,
Yes.
and actually soak up all of the knowledge that Tressa gave you, and she kind of led you in the right direction, as it pertains to being able to write a screenplay the right way, and have your outline and your story structure,
hmm
um, intact. Um, so
Now,
yeah, it's
one thing I will say is that being with her, under her mentorship, she's not just the teacher in the class, she's also my mentor. So and
right.
I tell this all the time, put yourself in situations where people that you can change places with them in a heartbeat and live their life. That's the journey that you want. Not that would, it's just I want to do the things that she's doing. So I'm going to learn from her. And that's what I did. I learned from her. She gives so freely. So she was the perfect person to be my mentor and to join her program.
Right. And
Mhm.
so your film Dollhouse, is through Megamind Media,
Yes.
um, and it is now on Tubi.
Yes, it is on
So
Tubi. It's the hottest movie on Tubi right now.
it really is. It really is. First of all, congratulations on your first film.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
and secondly, what has been the overall reception of Dollhouse so far? What have you heard?
Well, I've heard a lot of positive feedback. I don't really get caught up in all of the comments and stuff.
Mhm.
Because making a film in itself is hard work. And so the film is there. It looks great. The characters, the actors were wonderful. And my name is on the screen. But
Yes.
I've heard a lot of positive feedback from it. Like everybody is sharing it and talking about it. And every time I go to another page, they're talking about Dollhouse.
Mhm.
And people say, what is a good movie, a new movie I can watch on Tubi? I see Dollhouse recommended a lot, so that
Big
makes me
time.
feel good. Yeah.
Yeah. Big time. There's a lot of other major platforms that is talking about your movie. It's being passed around, and a lot of people are talking about it. It is definitely a buzzworthy film, but it actually lives up to the hype. And yeah, I'm just so excited for you. I'm happy for you that this actually, has taken off for you. I remember the first time that we talked, you told
Yeah,
me that you were working on creating a film, and that it was in the works, but you weren't quite sure at that time, how long it was going to take,
right, right.
for it to go through production and be ready. So my question is to you: how long did it take?
So I, it's funny. Um, the waiting game in itself is, is something to deal with, emotional. So I wrote the script, and
Mhm.
then it's been like a little over 2 years process. So when I
Wow.
wrote the script, and then she liked it, and then I
Mhm.
had to go through the production company process, finding the right home to make the film. And
Right.
then she found Sam Bray when I was excited. My kids was more excited about me because they knew who he was. So I had to look him up, and I'm like, oh, okay, he seemed, pretty dope. And so they went through the process of, building up their team and, setting the dates, getting their cast. And so from there, when it was made, yay, I'm on set,
Yeah.
I'm a part of this journey. My film is being made. And that was a wonderful experience. But then the process of waiting after that through the editing process and trying to find a home for it, that was
Mhm.
another waiting game. So at some point you say, when is it going to come out? It's not going to ever come out. Oh my goodness. All these things go through your head, these emotions that you feel, but
Right.
the end result is well worth it. You just got to put in the work and just, wait your time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What were some of the experiences on set when you actually made it to set and you actually were able to see some of the scenes take place, and meet some of the cast members and just watch the overall production happen? What was your experience there?
First meeting the cast was amazing to know that these were the people who are going to bring my words to life. Even meeting Darius, he was so welcoming,
Yeah.
and everybody loved my shirt because I had on a Dollhouse shirt that my daughter made, me and my best friend. And meeting Sam, I didn't know how people was going to receive me coming
Mhm.
to set, and that's one thing as a writer, like, oh my God, are they going to like me? Are they going to tell me to sit in the corner? How are they going to treat me? Because sometimes when a writer comes and said, they're like, she gonna come in here and tell us that, change something, or, have her opinions, which, I do have opinions, but, I stay in my lane.
Uh,
Um, but actually seeing the scenes played out and then seeing how the cast and the crew, welcomed me as the writer, I was able to see the footage as it was
mhm.
happening, watch it live, and I was able to be a part of the scenes while I was there. Even
Right.
when they had closed sets, they was like, well, you come in here, you can sit right here, and I can sit behind the director. And being able to do that, I have some favorite scenes. The bathroom scene is my favorite. I don't know why. Did you watch the movie? The bathroom scene is my favorite. Uh, Poor Gregory.
When everybody else watches it, you'll know exactly what she's talking about.
Right.
Seems crazy.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite scenes to write and to watch. So,
Man,
but it was
man.
fun.
So, okay, you talked about the overall process of actually putting the film together, and then also having the patience, through each step of the way until
Hmm.
you got to the final product. You're from Tennessee,
Yeah.
correct?
Yes, Nashville, Tennessee.
Can we talk a little bit about the fact that you can now you can now write a movie, write a story, write a screenplay, anywhere in the world, really, and actually still get it made. You don't have to be in Hollywood. You don't have to be in Atlanta. You don't have to be in some of these major hubs,
Right.
for talent, and you can still see your dream come true. Can you talk a little bit about, seeing your work through until it actually became a a real a real thing?
Yes. So, um, actually, writing in my classes was all online. So I did everything from my office space. This is where I call my home most of the time. I'm always in here.
Mm.
But being able to write and study and research and do all the process, even working with the directors and the producers, I did it all from home here in
Wow.
Nashville. I didn't have to leave until I actually had to go to set, and they filmed it in Miami. So just being in Miami, period, was like, wow, I'm in Miami. But I did everything else here at
Yeah.
the house. I didn't have to leave, but being a filmmaker, and I don't know if this is where you want me to go yet, but being a filmmaker, in Nashville, Tennessee, going to Miami is lovely. Going to Atlanta is lovely. Going to DC is lovely, but I would rather stay here at home and
Hmm.
do the process from beginning to end. And that's what, being a part of all these different sets opened my eyes like, oh, this is so fun. I want to live and breathe this. And so watching how Sam, the director of Dollhouse, directed and how he worked with his team, and going to Atlanta and working on set there and watching the director there work with her team
Hmm.
made me realize that, hey, I can build my own team and do this here in Nashville.
You can, you really can. And um, there's nothing that stops you from doing that, especially once you begin to see the inner workings behind the curtain, so to speak, and you
Hmm.
get to see how all of the moving parts work and everybody that you need from cast and crew. And you can start to figure out, okay, how can I build this for myself?
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I did.
You you went to actually watch your film be made, but you actually went to do homework.
I did homework. Yep. I
Yes.
studied. I asked producers questions,
Yes.
directors, Crafty, the editors. I asked
Yes.
everybody, the art department. I talked to everybody on set.
Yeah.
No job was too small, no job was too big. And they could tell that I had passion,
Hmm.
to be in this a part of this industry and what I wanted to do. And so everybody was willing to feed into me. And so that was a plus. And I had all access granted because of Tressa's program. So I was able to go on these major sets, different budget levels and work and be a part of that and see how everything works from a low budget to a higher budget film. And so it was great for me as a writer, producer, director, trying to do these things in the industry. So
Yeah. And shout out to Tressa. Kudos to her
I
and
love.
her mentorship. Um, First and foremost, bringing women of color on
Yes.
board and mentoring women of color, and helping put them in the position to win
Right.
and to see their projects through, and for her to be able to help facilitate your dream.
Right.
Uh, yeah, kudos to her, because not everybody does that, for one, and then for two, um, you're actually able to witness it happen in real time. Not only from what she talks about online, social media, and also film festivals and whatnot,
Mhm.
um, but you can actually see and hear it from all of the other women that she's mentored,
Right.
um, and everybody is kind of given the same messaging, is that Tressa is amazing, and she is actually doing what she says she's going to do, and she's reaching excuse me, reaching back and lifting us up, and not standing in our way, so to speak.
Right.
The
Right.
spotlight is not all hers. She's giving spotlight to everybody else, and that's what I love about it, is that we're actually, us as people of color, we're actually reaching back and doing what's right, and helping build a new pathway into the business.
Right. Yeah, she's definitely has reached out and helped us. Like she's is the reason why I'm in this industry, because I watch her and see her grow and she's
Hmm.
poured into us,
Right.
because we learn more than just writing in her class. We learn the business side. We learn all sides, you know,
Hmm.
the stuff, the good, the bad, and the ugly, the stuff that,
Right.
what people don't give you. So we really
Right.
getting a PhD in this class. And so because of that, it's allowed me to go out and help other people too.
Hmm.
Everything that I've soaked up, the knowledge that I've gained, it's like I want to go back out into the industry and help other people, other women just like me, pull them up, so they can get to the next level, because we all out here trying to do the same thing. And as women of color, we got
Yes,
to work a little extra harder sometimes, but it's well worth the work.
you absolutely do. You absolutely do. And sometimes there's a lot of gatekeepers in every industry, and sometimes they only let one or two through the gate at a time. And it's in this day and age, it's time to change that. We need to kick down the gates and
Mhm.
open up the floodgates, so to speak, and make sure that we have a firm standing in this business and provide more diversity, and be able to tell our stories, whether it be horror or drama or rom com, what have you. There's a lot of room for all of us in this business, and there's an audience for all of us
Right.
in this business. Can you speak a little bit to the aspect of being a Black woman in horror, and the importance of having more uh, women of color in that genre,
Hmm.
but not just women of color, women in general?
Well, I don't really hear about too many people that I know that look like me writing horror, for one.
Exactly. Right. Yes.
Um, and it's people ask me all the time, like, why you start writing horror? Even my crew that I built, with my next movie, they were like, you really doing this? You wrote this? I'm like, yeah, but it was fun. But it's very important to just have all these different genres under your belt. Just think outside the box. Don't put yourself in a box, and explore. You never know what you're going to be good at. I didn't know I was going to be good at horror, but I love it. It's not my favorite genre. It wasn't my favorite genre at first, but
Uh-huh.
now I have a passion to, write these scripts and pretend kill people. So it's fun. People are like, why you always laughing and smiling when you say that? Because I know it's fake for one. And, the genre is just fun, to even when I watch the clips back and, I see the editors putting it together, I know what's gonna happen. And I jump anyways,
Mhm.
and just being able to entertain people from all types of genre, even including horror, it's a good feeling to know that, hey, I did that.
Right. And the thing about horror to me, it's really like a melting pot of genres.
Hmm.
You can mix and match horror any kind of way. It can be dramatic horror, thriller horror, romantic horror, or there's aspects of it, and comedic horror like The Blackening.
The blacking.
Um, yeah, there's all types of ways that you can actually approach horror, and it doesn't always have to have that stigma, and you can be successful at it. It's just a matter of being showcasing your creativity within that genre and bringing that out of you. But the reason why I wanted to uh, bring to light women of color and women in horror is because you can give it a different perspective, a different avenue. A lot of times
Yes.
when we see horror, it's usually the damsel in distress type of theme, and it can still be the damsel in distress kind of theme, but you can also give it a twist and make it a different perspective.
Hmm. Yep, I did that. Dollhouse has a different perspective. It
Right,
was, I don't want to give it away, but
right.
it's a different perspective. Not the damsel in distress, but it's different, and my movie Hunger for Revenge is different. It's based on hunger for revenge. It's based on revenge, and it's not about, the damsel in distress. So, um, but it's different. And it also tells a story. We can write it and make it look how we want it to look, and still tell a story. So that's what I did. Tell a story through horror.
Well, speaking of hunger for revenge, being that you mentioned it, that is your next film that you're working on.
Yes. Yeah.
um, the story's already done. It's already ready to go. Are you guys in production?
We are actually in post production. That was
Oh,
my first project. I know. I don't really talk a lot about, stuff, because
okay.
behind the camera. But
Yeah.
it's my first production that I put together from beginning to end. I wrote the script with my son
Wow.
and built my team, an amazing team. Went out and found different people that I saw their skill set and brought them in. And I didn't have to do a casting for
Mm.
it. I just prayed about it, and God just sent me the right people, to come and be a part of this film. Some people will repeat from my last film that I did.
Mhm.
And everybody was perfect for their roles. And so down to my cameraman and everything. So it's in editing stage right now,
Okay.
but we filmed it. I directed it and I
Okay.
produced it. I had multiple hats on, but it was fun.
Hey.
Fun. I
Yeah.
wouldn't change it for anything. I learned a lot doing my own production, but I learned a lot before that I
Mhm.
applied to this production. But I knew what I wanted. I knew the type of people that I wanted on my team, my cast, and they were amazing, amazing team to work with. So yeah.
Okay, so now that this now I'm liking where this is going. So now you have your own team, your own production. You've been able to witness it first, then you actually put it into practice yourself.
Yes.
Um, what were some of the challenges that you faced that you probably didn't think about, firsthand?
Well, one, whew, wearing those multiple hats, I'm superwoman at times, but I need a little help, and I'm not gonna say I'm a control freak. Some people say, I just know what I want, but I just like to see things done a certain way. So I became the producer, the director, and wanted to do everything, on my own, but having a good solid team around you and other people that you can delegate to, I would do that different. Like add more people, but we were limited on funds too. So I had to wear multiple hats and it was okay. I had people that showed up for me and who wanted to help. I put my
Mhm.
husband to work cooking, but I would do something. I would have more people in different roles, do that differently, next time around I am. But yeah.
Right.
But it was
Well,
a fun experience. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
yeah, I think it's actually good that you started where you started. And the
Mhm.
reason why I say that is because you wearing all of those hats allows you to be able to actually learn and experience all of those different roles. So when the time comes and you do build out those teams and you do delegate, you know exactly what each piece is supposed to do
Right,
in order to make it happen.
right,
I feel like if you kind of skip that step, then you might have had to take a step back and say, okay, let's try to figure this out. You
right.
know, but now that you already have experienced it, you know what mistakes you might have made. You know how much pressure that was on you. Now you can delegate properly and actually put people in the proper positions to where it's less stressful.
Yeah, I probably would cut my days down too because we had some long days, but they were troopers. I would just feed off of their energy and see, how far we could go for that day.
Mhm.
I think our latest day was like 4 a.m. in the morning. Woo!
Wow.
But we
And you filmed all day long?
we started at like 12 that day and then didn't end till like 4 in the morning. So
No. Yeah.
but it was like, we had to get these scenes done for this location, so we were like
Right.
pushing it. I keep telling them, I'm like, I did give y'all one day off early, and they like one, and it was at midnight.
Right. Yeah,
But
but it'll pay off. It'll
it was,
pay off, and yeah. Once you guys have the final product in hand, you're actually able to watch it and see
mhm.
everything back. You're gonna be like, man, that was an amazing time.
Yeah, we had some great footage, some great shots. The actors were really good. They were passionate about what they were doing too, so that mattered. That helped, with the whole production. Everybody was passionate about it, and everybody keeps saying it's your energy. It just spreads to everyone. You know.
Mhm. Yeah, and so now, on top of you venturing into your own world of doing film, you
Hmm.
are also going to venture into the world of teaching,
Yes.
um, writing screenplays and screenwriting, and actually being able to format your screenplay and get it ready for production.
Yes.
And just to add to that, you are partnering up with the Black Script.
Woo woo! That's
Yeah,
exciting for me.
yes, you are partnering with the Black Script to provide this service to up and coming writers, maybe even established writers if they want to add to their craft,
Mhm.
polish their skills. And we are going to have our very first webinar February 8th at 7 p.m. Um, and yeah, it's going to be the elements of a great story. If you would mind speaking on that real quick.
So the elements of a great story it really matter. A lot of people just start writing their story without thinking the process through. Like what is the premise of your story, first of all? Everybody has a boy meets girl story, but what is happening in this movie that is going to make us want to watch it, that's going to keep our attention? And so a lot of people don't know that like act one has certain beats, certain things need to go in act one, certain things need to go in act two. It's
Right.
different elements to writing a story than just writing something. But being a writer myself and being a director producer, I know all sides of it.
Hmm.
I know how to tell someone to write from a director's perspective, a producer's perspective, and a writer, storyteller perspective, and make a great story. But I've even from class, being in class, I've taught myself different things, done a lot of research outside of class, read a lot of scripts to make sure that I'm delivering the best advice possible when I do teach people to develop their story. And so I love doing it. I love teaching people. I love helping people. I love giving back. I could do it in my sleep if I wanted to, because that's how much I do it on a regular basis.
Right.
But it's gonna be good. Building a story for a screen is really, really important. There's a
Mhm.
lot that goes into it than just writing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm so excited to have you on board. I'm excited to, help you in this venture.
Thank
When we spoke, I told you that I wanted you to be able to get all of the shine that you deserve, because you do put a lot into your work and a lot of dedication. And I've seen that firsthand, in some of the other things that we've worked on, behind the scenes. And so I thought it was a great idea for us to be able to partner together, and for you to be able to provide this. And this is also a means of giving back, so to speak, even though the class, it does have a cost to it, but it's still a means of giving back, because you are now going to be mentoring and helping, the next generation or the next wave of writers come
you.
up. And
Yeah.
we will be learning all of the ins and outs, so it's not just one webinar, it's going to be multiple webinars. So if you guys want to uh, join in on the webinar, it's you go to TheBlkScript and you go to the resources page. It's right there on the resources page, and go ahead and register. But there will be plenty of other classes that will follow. This is going to be the first of many. And Donna, I'm so happy to have you, as the person that's doing this for us.
Thank you. I'm excited. I just say bring your pencil, pens,
Yeah.
paper, lots of paper, because every time I do this with people, they end up saying they have pages of notes. I just pour out my knowledge, and I sometimes I kind of like, oh, I want to give everybody all of my knowledge at one time. And I
Right.
can't.
You got to spread it out.
It's just a passion that I have for what I do. And I love storytelling, and I love helping other people pull out their stories to the best abilities that they can. So yeah, it's going to be
Abs-
great. It's going to be fun.
Absolutely. And just to correlate with that, what are some of the common mistakes most writers make when writing their story?
Ooh, let's see. I can go on and on, but one thing that I see people do, especially with book to film, they try to put too many characters in there. They don't develop their characters. Their character development shows when you're reading the script, or if some people go on to make films and you can tell that their character development wasn't on point.
Mhm.
They don't have a catalyst moment. There's no turning point in the story. The setup is not there. I
Right.
see a lot of that. I see a lot of mistakes when they're writing their scripts. It's not formatted correctly. There's questions, there's plot holes that are not
Right.
answered in their story. And it goes back to planning, doing your beats, doing your treatment, outlining your story, and knowing what your character's journey is in the story. So I see
Mhm.
a lot of that in there. And I give people notes all the time and tell them, what's missing, what the problem is, but I also tell them how they can fix it, how to make it better, and give them suggestions, because I want to see other filmmakers like me succeed in this area. So why not give them a part of my knowledge as well? So,
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And then secondly, what makes for a good story?
we're going into the class topics now. Uh,
I wanted to give them just, just a piece, just a preview,
having a good idea, making sure that your protagonist and your antagonist have their own separate journeys, that when they collide, it shows that they're the antagonist and that is the protagonist. Making sure you have good plot points, turning points, good mid points, good breaking the twos. You got to have action pack. You got to draw your audience in to the
Mhm.
story. When it starts, what is happening that is going to set the tone of the story? What are they tuning in for? Do they even know? Do they have a clue? Are you going to keep their attention? What are you writing with your protagonist and their journey that says, "Ooh, this is going to be a good movie"? Even if it's not supposed, like The Notebook or something. It has its moments. You got to have a piece of the story that says this is going to be a good movie. And it starts with developing your characters. You got to have good characters that guide and lead your story. You got to build the world in which your characters live in.
Right.
What kind of movie is this? Are we watching a crime drama? I need to see crime drama when it starts. I need to see something that tells me that this is about to be a drama with crime.
Yes.
Do
Right.
we have, all good people, all the same characters? Are they not unique? What about the dialogue? Do they all sound the same, or do they all have their unique voice? There's a bunch of different things that go into making a good story. A good story that sells. Anybody can, write something and make something, but a good story that sells, that tells a good story that people want to watch.
A good story that sells. I like that.
Yep.
Yeah, you definitely have to have that hook. You have to have um, that thing in the very beginning that
Yes.
that hooks you in and makes you want to watch more. And also, to your point, let you know what this story is about to be about. You
Right.
know, um, most definitely, most definitely. Outside of doing this webinar series, what is next for Donna?
Donna has a lot of projects that she wants to make that I am going to make.
That's
I have
right.
other projects planned for this year, 2024, that I am going to produce myself. I have
Mhm.
a TV series and a couple other feature films. I got a romance drama, a,
Okay.
a crime drama that I want to do. A couple crime dramas. I love those. And I have another horror. Go figure. I love horror. But I also work on other projects too that I associate produce. And so I love doing that too. So giving back and then pouring back into myself and my team as well. Yeah.
Awesome. I like that. And I like the fact that you are not slowing down, not one bit.
Not at all.
Yeah, you got the pedal to the metal. So lastly, I like to
Okay.
give all of my guests a final word, whether that be advice, words of encouragement, or a quote that they like to live by. You can give all three, or you can give one of the three. It's up to you.
Okay. So what I like to live by is I tell myself two things. I tell myself to go out into this world and be the person that I wish my younger self had. So that's
Mhm.
why I give so much freely to other people, is because I wish I had somebody who would do that for me. And so a lot of times I see the need in this industry, and I help people all the time just out of the kindness of my heart, and I never ask anything back from them. And
Right.
because I've done that, people have been willing to pour back into me. I've gotten a casting director from doing that, an
Mhm.
acting coach, a photographer. I got all kind of people to come and help me because I've helped them, not knowing that I was going to get these services. But
Right.
be the person that you wish your younger self was, and don't be afraid to carry someone else's crown. Go work on set for free. It ain't always got to be about money, but give back, and then you'll ultimately have things come back to you. And then also, what I keep saying to myself now, my gift is not for me. I don't get to choose who I go out
Right.
here and help. I
Right.
help the people that God sends to me.
Yes.
And it's the Black Script was a blessing to me, how we connected, I
Yes.
was able to work on something for you, and you in turn saw something in me. And so that's how partnerships work. But give
Absolutely.
back, your gift, my gift is my gift, and I'm grateful and I'm good at it. But it's nothing if I don't turn around and use it for other people. And lastly, I would say if you have a dream, you can do it. If you can see it, you can vision it, you can do it. It just takes hard work, preparation, and dedication, and a will to say, I got this, I can do this. If not me, then who? Let me be that person to go out there and say, I did that.
Yeah. And you did that. You really did. And you're still doing it. And I know that you're going to knock these projects out the park.
Yeah.
And you're on your way up for sure. I've seen your level of skill and dedication and commitment to what it is that you do, your craft, and not even just for yourself, but for the others that you've helped,
Yes.
especially through the Black Script. And so I thank you for that, and I'm grateful for our friendship, our partnership,
Thank you.
and yeah, guys, please support Donna Christopher. by joining the webinar, see what she's talking about. We're trying to build community here at TheBlkScript. So if you are a writer, are interested in storytelling in any aspect, this is the class for you. You want to join and come soak up some of this knowledge that Donna Christopher wants to share with the world.
It's a lot up here. I'm ready to pour it out.
Well,
Share.
Donna, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time, your expertise, your knowledge, and just sharing your experience with the films that you have with Dollhouse and Hunger for Revenge that's coming. And I look forward to your other future projects. I look forward to this webinar, February 8th, 7 p.m. Say that one more time.
Eastern.
And Eastern time, yes, Eastern time. So definitely mark your calendars. Set an alarm on your watch, and let's make it happen. Run over to TheBlkScript and register. But yeah, Donna Christopher, everybody.
Thank you. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.